So I got to the trailhead about 6:30. There was maybe 8 cars in the parking lot. A couple guys in tents. From the looks of it, I'm the first one actually on the trail, which is surprising since it's Labor Day weekend, and from what I understand, this is a popular trail. When you live off grid and you walk through dead standing like all of this, all you think about is, man, that would heat my house for the whole winter. There's probably 8 cords just standing right there. So the last whole week, I first started the week off by rereading The Grizzly Maze, which some of you know is a book about the life of Timothy Treadwell, who got eaten by a bear along with his girlfriend. And then I finished it off last night with a book called Bear Attacks, which was probably not a good idea considering that I'm hiking in the North Cascades by myself, and kind of wonder what's going to come out of the bushes. Is it going to be Jason Voorhees or one of the 10 grizzly bears that are allegedly wandering around these mountains? Of course, I live with bears, but black bears and grizzly bears they aren't the same thing. At least in my mind, they're not. Horse shit. Guess so my watch says I just hit a mile, 22 minutes. If you work out and drink pre-workouts, Cyto Sports Fast Twitch. It's like the American Express of pre-workouts. Never leave home without it. So, looking at the ground, see horse tracks, which is not that big of a deal, but seems to be a lot of bike tracks here. Not a big fan of people biking on hiking trails, at least ones that are this thin on a trail that's supposed to be pretty popular. So if you're thinking about hitting this up, I'd get here early. So I would go to the lake right now, which is that way. And interestingly enough, somebody's camping right there. But I'm gonna go to the pass first because we've got a bunch of fires going on right now. When I was coming up out of Twisp and Winthrop, smoke was getting thicker, and I want to get up there before the view gets closed out. And then when I come back down, I'll hit the lake, check it out. All right, so somehow I screwed up, wound up at the lake. Don't know how, but I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna turn around and come back over this way later. Yeah, so I went left. I'm not supposed to go right. Only lost about 5 minutes. Doing all right on time. A little over 2 miles. I'm sure I'm gonna get DMs. Sean, those drinks are so bad for you. Listen, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I work out every day. I'm in my 50s. I'll probably be dead before I'm 60. That's just what happens to people like me. Meanwhile, my dad, bless his heart, 78 years old, drinks, smokes, has CPOD, whatever it's called. He's on oxygen, and he's gonna outlive Justin Bieber. So, it is what it is. Oh, no bears behind me. When I first moved to Washington 7 years ago, I was hiking the Lime Kiln Trail. It's literally something a kid could ride a tricycle on. But not being from here, I actually did think there was a wolf around every corner, even though I don't think there's been any documented wolf sightings outside of Granite Falls, Washington. But when all you do is read forums all day long, you get to start thinking the worst of everything, that there's a wolf around every corner waiting to eat you, waiting to eat your kids. I have a wolf that comes through my property. He's got collar, comes through pretty much like clockwork every December. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't mess with my kids, doesn't mess with my house. So I don't hold the same opinions of predators that a lot of the ranchers in my neighborhood do. But then I don't raise beef, so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. Stole these from my kids. They don't need them, they're not going to school. Everything's online. Oh man, these switchbacks are brutal. Unnecessarily long. I think they could have cut them a little steeper, but it's probably good. I'm just starting to get a little burn in the old calves, and I'm barely getting to, I'm at 2.88 miles. So I'm roughly halfway to the top, or a quarter way done. So there's the lake from up here. Doesn't look that big. I just completed the longest switchback ever recorded by man. This trail claims to be 11 miles in and out, but that turn right there, that was like 49 miles. It was ridiculous. I had to stop, retie my shoes, look around. I took a nap. Here we are. Day 59 of Cutthroat Lake Trail. I'm growing weak. My food supplies are running low, and I still have 2 more miles to the top. Lake shot right there. I just checked my elevation. I'm at 6,000 feet. Keep in mind, I'm hiking to the top of Cutthroat Pass without oxygen. Not like those pansies on Everest. Check this out. If I was a grizzly bear, I'd be hiding in here. I'd come up here around 5:45 before the sun comes up. I'd just wait, find a nice hiker. I'm a big guy, 6'2", 240. That'd be a pretty good meal. But I've already planned out in my head how I'd fight a bear. He'd come at me. I'd maneuver around so he's coming at me from the front. And then as he charged me, I'd step right, and then I'd just catch him with an undercut right in his bare jaw. And then he'd just writhe in pain, and I would stand over him, and of course, I'd videotape it because nobody would believe me. All of you would be in awe of me. Be like, Sean, come to my school and speak about that time you got into a fist fight with a 600-pound grizzly bear and won. And I'd be like, no, it's not something you brag about. Look at that. That's a bear escape tree right there. Just hit the 4-mile mark. About a mile and a half on the left to the top. You know, I joke about bears, but honestly, they're absolutely zero threat for the most part on these trails. If you're really gonna worry about something, you worry about a cougar. I love bears. Not enough to get eaten by one, but don't ever wish harm on a bear, especially a grizzly bear. But no bears behind me. Don't mind those sounds. Those are just the buzzards circling around me. I was watching these two birds. I don't know if they're lovers. How do birds have sex? I'm gonna have to look that up when I get home. I genuinely don't know. Oh shit, I almost fell. That would have sucked. But I have an OtterBox on my phone, so at least my phone would have survived. So it opens up pretty good right here. Just basically walking the ridgeline. It's the same, obviously the same peaks we've been looking at for the last 2 hours. All right. That's that looks like the area where I was gonna have to fight the grizzly bear. I walked a long ways and doesn't seem like I've gotten very far. Getting closer. Ever notice that 4 or 5 spruce grouse in the bushes running at the same time? Sounds like a Bigfoot coming after you. It does. Almost fell down the hill. I don't have a plan to fight a Bigfoot, especially one that's over 7 feet tall. I'm not gonna be able to, I mean, I'm sure I could land a blow here and there, but it's probably not gonna end well. Just hit the 4-mile mark. About a 1.5 miles on the left to the top. You know, I joke about bears, but honestly, they're absolutely zero threat for the most part on these trails. If you're really gonna worry about something, you worry about a cougar. I love bears. Not enough to get eaten by one, but don't ever wish harm on a bear, especially a grizzly bear. But no bears behind me. Don't mind those sounds. Those are just the buzzards circling around me. I was watching these two birds. lovers. How do birds have sex? I'm gonna have to look that up when I get home. I genuinely don't know. Oh shit, I almost fell. That would have sucked. But I have an OtterBox on my phone, so at least my phone would have survived. So it opens up pretty good right here. Just basically walking the ridgeline. It's the same, obviously the same peaks we've been looking at for the last 2 hours. All right. That's that looks like the area where I was gonna have to fight the grizzly bear. I walked a long ways and doesn't seem like I've gotten very far. Ever notice that 4 or 5 spruce grouse in the bushes running at the same time? Sounds like a Bigfoot coming after you. It does. Almost fell down the hill. I don't have a plan to fight a Bigfoot, especially one that's over 7 feet tall. I'm not gonna be able to. I mean, I'm sure I could land a blow here and there, but it's probably not gonna end well. 5 miles, 2 hours. This view is ridiculous. There's the lake. Ran into my first set of hikers. I guess they came in from the highway that way. Well, I'm at the top. Pretty decent views. I don't know if I'd want to camp up here. It's pretty windy. So I'm gonna head back down, go check out the lake before it gets too crowded.